Right, let's bring you this conversation now. The recent attack on a Sowetan journalist has once again cast a harsh spotlight on the dangers faced by media practitioners in South Africa. So what should be a profession that is rooted in truth-telling and accountability is increasingly shadowed in intimidation, harassment, and even physical assault. Journalists continue to face these challenges while carrying out their work. So these attacks not only threaten individual reporters, but also undermine the constitutional right to freedom of the press, which is a cornerstone of our democracy. Recent incidents have sparked urgent debate about the safety of media practitioners and the responsibility of both authorities and society to protect those who bring us the truth. So we speak to media expert Tshamano Makhadi about the challenges that are confronting journalists, the implications for democracy, and what must be done to ensure that freedom of expression is not just a principle on paper, but is a lived reality. Thank you so much for your time. You know, in that intro, we talk about that lived reality that we want for press freedom. So can you just perhaps for us outline the current state of press freedom in South Africa? It looks great on paper, might I add, and just how also when we have this conversation, things such as intimidation and potential assault are also affecting journalists on the ground.
No, thank you so much, Olisi. You're so right. On paper, yes, indeed, it looks pretty, but the reality on the ground obviously tells a different story. The South African Constitution gives guarantee to media freedom, freedom of expression, but what we see on the ground, like the incident that you've just cited, tells a different story. We are grateful that South Africa, certainly through the Constitution, Section 16 of our Constitution, gives guarantee for media freedom. In your own introduction, you do say that media freedom is the cornerstone of our democracy, and I want to agree with that. But often we tend to see challenges sometimes coming from leaders, be it in business, sometimes within the political cycles. And these are all incidents that causes a great deal of concern when you consider the role of media in society.
Yeah, and when we talk about this right now, we observe and, take account of what actually transpired during the week there. And when we zone in thoroughly into this, this is not really a new conversation that we are having now. Just what are some of the most pressing challenges that journalists face when reporting on sensitive issues such as corruption, such as crime, or political unrest?
There will be intimidation. Part of what happens is also what we see as well online, cyberbullying. Very recently, the glass ceiling tells us that over 75% of women journalists in particular, they experience a lot of bullying, which happens online, if it's not in the physical sense, which to a large extent, it does have an impact on, one's ability to be able to perform their daily duties.
And Mr. Makhadi, we do have the press code that sort of becomes somewhat of a guideline in terms of guiding media practitioners and journalists in doing their work. In your view, let's talk about some of the legal protections, if any, at this stage, and enforcement mechanisms, and are they really sufficient to safeguard journalists? Or do we have a situation where we have journalists are now left to their own devices once they take off their professional caps? They're still individuals. They must still go to town and do their grocery shopping. They must still go to the gym if they go to the gym. They must still continue with their lives, essentially.
Maybe let's begin here. And I want to reference the incident that happened to the Sowetan journalist during the course of the week, which, much has been written about. Now, what is clear is that you have private space, you have public space. The Bridget Mabandla, where the Madanga Commission is currently taking place, it's a public space. Now, anyone who enters that space, they've got to know that it's not a private space. And if journalists have to take photographs, they're definitely going to take photographs. Same thing applies to those that are filming. So that's the one part where I must say it was quite bizarre to see the incidents playing out the way we've seen. But to your question, we do have the press code, which in the main, obviously, it guides journalists in terms of how they should conduct themselves. But the issue of intimidation, this is still a bit of a challenge. Hence, we see a number of our journalists being intimidated. And you're right, because journalists, like all other people, I mean, these are human beings who have family. They will be visiting family. They will be going to the malls. How well are they protected? And these are some of the ongoing discussions. But at the moment, and I guess it's sort of cases that are dealt by news organizations from one newsroom to the other differently as to how they go about protecting their journalists, depending, of course, on the assignments they get to carry on a daily basis.
And this is certainly a conversation worth picking up at a later stage, because it's a very important one. In the meantime, I must thank you so much for your time and insights. That's media expert Tshamano Makhadi joining us there about the challenges that are confronting journalists in the country.